Well, it's a great day. I'm Dean Jones, and this is Market Perspectives. Today we have a special guest, Quyen Dang. She's with FogRose Atelier, and we are so excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
I'm excited because you're so sweet, and also what you deliver to our audience is so sweet. Tell us what you're up to with FogRose Atelier.
FogRose has had an amazing journey. We started in 2018 as a liquid nitrogen ice cream shop. And in 2019, we opened a full-service restaurant centered around dessert. And we really wanted to make dessert not an afterthought, but something people go into a meal with the intention of having dessert at the end and have it be a big finale of their meal. And we created a wonderful concept. We're so fortunate to have a really great following. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the pandemic happened.
Oh, that thing.
And yeah, right? We almost forgot about it. Not really. But 4 months into opening our atelier, we had to close, basically figure out what are the things that we can do. So we went into catering. We went into private client service. Right. And try to expand our bar service and do everything outside of the restaurant. And we're very lucky to be able to maintain and continue on. And so we've been bouncing back and forth doing a bunch of stuff and was looking for a place that was going to be the next chapter of FogRose. So for the last 6 months, I've been, looking at mainly on the east side. We started on the east side. We want to continue to stay on the east side, even though we have some really great partners in Seattle as well. Bellevue has, been a great city for us to operate in a long time. And we always wanted to expand into Kirkland, and this opportunity is just really tremendous for us. I mean, we had, the intention of getting into Kirkland. We didn't know it was going to happen so soon. And this partnership came about, and it was just, the momentum is so fantastic. And the energy has been so great to kind of propel us forward. And I feel like we just kind of jumped, we skipped a few chapters and just jumped right in.
Here we are.
To this great space. And this amazing partnership and the alignment that we have with Sotheby's has been so
thankful you're here with us, Quyen. And for our audience to catch up with the announcement, FogRose Atelier is our premier retail partner right here at 15 Lake Street, fronting our business as the residential real estate brokerage of RealLogic Sotheby's International Realty. And today we are announcing that the effective Times Square of Kirkland has come right here at the foot of Park Lane and Lake Street in the heart of downtown Kirkland by the marina. And so we have about 1,000 square foot hybrid workspace and also your retail storefront. Explain for our audience what the experience will be and the type of services that you will be providing them on the retail front.
Yes, we have a few really great programs that are going to be curating in this space. On the afternoon tea program that we have has been well received no matter what locations that we've been doing with our pop-up, and to be able to have it here as a permanent location for afternoon tea in this beautiful space is something that our team is very excited about. That's going to be a great space for anyone looking to have an event, whether it's a bridal shower, baby shower, or just a brunch time get together. It's going to be really great visually, as well as we have some amazing flavors that our shop have put together for this afternoon tea program. Aside from that, we also are looking to have the space be a dessert lounge in the evening with incredible cocktails from our talented bartenders and plated desserts, as well as some really great bites for the evening. And during the daytime, it's going to be a more casual cafe that you can come in, you can drop in, grab a cup of coffee, maybe a glass of champagne, and have brunch, just, meet with friends. It's going to be a great gathering space.
And we see a lot of that here in Kirkland. I mean, people want to get out of their home or maybe away from the office and just grab a cup of coffee or a quick bite, but actually set up shop like their living room and just enjoy it as an extension of their workspace. And I think it's great that we are targeting 7 days a week and pretty expansive hours. And so it's not just a dinner time or an afternoon tea it seems like your vision is to be a lot more dynamic and sort of listen and learn by the market and then evolve to provide a great hospitality service.
Yes, at the heart of it is just hospitality, creating experience and offering a space that people can be comfortable, going into and have a great setting for conversations.
I love it. It's so visual too. I mean, this the way you stack the plates, and it's more of a price fix situation, and have as much tea and continue consuming as you wish, and kind of more of a experience than just a meal. Would you describe it that way?
Yes, it is. It's very much an experience, and we want our guests to really, take their time, enjoy the tea program. We curate 10 teas at a time. It's unlimited pours for that duration that they're with us. And the menu is set, but we do rotate based on the season as well as accommodate a lot of the dietary restriction. We accommodate gluten-free, dairy-free, a lot of the allergies. And so it's really about the guest. It's really about their experience and making sure that they have, a very accessible place here in downtown Kirkland that they can go to for not just, a get-together, but also think of it whenever there's a celebration and events that, that they want to spend time in downtown. It's going to be an amazing option for our community.
I love it. And so speaking of events, this would be, you mentioned bridal shower, baby shower, somebody's 50th birthday party or graduation event. I mean, it'll be kid-friendly too, pet-friendly as well, if appropriate. So you're a little more flexible here. And as you know, on the downtown Kirkland here, it's very family-friendly, and it's pretty much an 18-hour city. So it'll be interesting to kind of ebb and flow with what the demands are with the consumer. So private events are okay? Would that be like a buyout situation where you'd be closed to the public, but maybe, 50 or 100 people could come in for private dining experience or something bespoke that you would cater?
Exactly. We have a space that can hold, it's so versatile in terms of being able to do, small like family gatherings all the way to, like you said, 50 to 100 people. We can really open up the space to accommodate, those kind of events. And we do have hours that are, 7 days a week. Whenever we have an event book, we can definitely curate that and make that very private. So the space allows us to do a lot of fun things. And our team is amazing in terms of, really wanting the experience to be kind of a one-stop shop. We've done event design for our clients. We curate decor as well as the bar and the food and the service, whether it's, a meet and greet or a formal sit-down dinner. We can create that experience for our guests.
And the desserts are so yummy. I appreciate when my son Cole graduated and he's going to Kenyon University, we had that beautiful dessert that you designed in the form of cupcakes shaped as a K with the little tassel hats and the whole bit. It was really a treat. I appreciated just your attention to the detail. And that's probably no surprise. People don't realize that in addition to being so great at hospitality and a wonderful host, you are actually a civil engineer.
Yes, my former life, I was practicing civil engineer for 11 years prior to starting this business. This is my first step into the entrepreneurial journey, and it's been amazing. I was able to translate a lot of the skills that I learned from my previous career into this setting. I'm very detail oriented and really wanted to create a process and maintain like consistency in service, in food, and all things, aesthetics as well. Like you mentioned, our desserts is very like Instagrammable.
Oh, it's visual delight and
right,
so tasty.
And so that's very intentional. I want to make sure that people eat with their eyes before they dive in and try all the wonderful flavors. But we're really excited to also have this space be a place where people can come and pick up desserts, because for a long time we didn't really have a retail space. When we did our pop-up, it was reservation only, and people would come and enjoy the tea. People have been asking us, like, can I just pick up a box of cupcakes? Can I get a cake from you? And those would have to be pre-order. But with this retail space, we will have a selection of products that are going to be featured in our dessert cabinets that people can just pick up, and that's really exciting.
And I know you're also exploring some very bespoke gift baskets and other gifting items that could be light retail grab and go. What sort of inspiration have you had to do that, and what kind of items might be available to either our brokers for a listing celebration or maybe a closing gift, or anyone just grabbing something to jump on the boat off the dock or take to a birthday party in an impromptu moment?
We have curated to start a few gift baskets that are really going to be fantastic to present. Being in downtown Kirkland, there's all these wonderful retail vendors around. And we really wanted to curate something that represents Kirkland and incorporate all the local art, craft, or jeweler, or just a lot of really great products that we can curate that is unique for Kirkland by local businesses here. So that was one basket that we had put together that represents the Kirkland downtown. And then there are other themes too that we had put together. One of them is afternoon tea, of course, because we do high tea. So really wonderful tea sets with pots and teacups on there with some really great dessert products that we put in. There's also a picnic basket that we curate with wonderful local wines and charcuterie items that you can pick up and take to the park with a friend. What's different about us is we can customize the gift baskets for you. So if, for example, if one of your clients are really into golf, we can actually incorporate, a golf themed basket. So all of these things can be very bespoke. We can curate a basket that works for them, whether they're into coffee, tea, or wine. We talked about high tea on the high sea, right?
Yeah, let's go out on the boats.
And so we can have some really fun things that you can take out on a boat and enjoy as well.
Well, in this location, it certainly begets, connecting to Lake Washington and all the waterways. And so many people out there would love to come to downtown Kirkland and hop off and do a little shopping here, or stay, sip and savor, or go back out there. And I just think that's what makes such a great location. Let's talk about your kitchen, 26/7. I love how, as an engineer, you found 2 more hours in the day instead of a 24/7 kitchen. What was the genesis of that? How's it operating? And what sort of advantages does it bring to you here in downtown Kirkland, as well as potentially to our other locations or any catering destination?
The 26/7 kitchen is a partnership that I have with a chef that has been around for over 20 years working in the Pacific Northwest. And I really wanted to have somebody run the kitchen that has a lot of culinary experience, well-versed in hospitality. And the intent of that is that it will be where we do, that's kind of like our center that we do all of our production. And that's where we do our produce for catering, for private parties, for retail. And that kitchen came out of the pandemic because we had to find a different way to do things, and we couldn't rely on our restaurant space, and we knew we had to do volume. And so what that enabled us to do is volume, which means we have now mobility, right? We have the ability to go into a retail space and bring, all of our products, bring our service, bring our brand, and really, truly, be able to expand in a way that we wouldn't have otherwise been able to.
Well, now we're talking about you doing pop-ups, and maybe they might even be permanent in our very curated retail locations, whether that's Madison Park, or it's in Bellevue, or it's in downtown Seattle, or Bainbridge Island. Of course, you're right here in a permanent retail location at 15 Lake Street in Kirkland. But it makes so much sense for us that usually the Achilles heel of setting up shop in these retail locations is you need a full service kitchen. But really, you can bring that and the hospitality to any location, or set up for a broker's open house or a private party. So really the catering side of your business is infinitely expandable.
That enables us to move a lot quicker because we wouldn't have to do like a full build out like a traditional restaurant, and so we can get things moving like lightning speed.
Let's talk about high tea for a second, because I'm from British Columbia, which is part of the Commonwealth, and I think it's a very British thing to do, especially if you've hung out at the Empress Hotel in Victoria. That's certainly top class there for high tea. Describe the backdrop of high tea, what sort of patrons participate in, and in that experience, and just why it's different than hanging out at the local coffee shop.
High tea, people dress up for it, right? If you do like traditional high tea, it's very formal, and I think there's a lot of appreciation for that formality, and it's very like, it's so detailed, right? So the way the tea is being poured, it's temperature controlled, the tea sets everything is very intentional. So I think those who appreciate the care and attention that goes into an experience like that, it's very fun, because you get to see not only the food display, but the service that goes along with it. And it's basically something, it's not just food drop on the table, right, and then you're on your own. It's like,
Butler
the team,
almost.
Exactly, the team stays with you. So I think that there's more and more, especially with Bridgerton being so popular now, people are really wanting to do tea, right? Because they see the show and they're like, that looks like it's a really fun experience. You get to dress up, you get to come in and experience this wonderful, very like aesthetic, display, and then have incredible teas that are curated.
I love the way you describe that. So it's not necessarily the experience that's being programmed to you, it's being a product of you, right, and with that high quality food service, and then like literally butler level service, but fun. And always lots of smiles, and I was so thrilled. I mean, we stayed for several hours and got into far deeper conversations and lots of laughter, and I love how the vibe changes too. And obviously the Friday night experience might be a little different than Monday afternoon. And live music nights are very possible, maybe even event venues for other theater acts, could be comedy, could be bingo, could be a number of things. So it doesn't always have to stay static, and I think that's what's so wise about you engineering a lifestyle center that's going to evolve at the same pace of the demand of the audience. And you have quite the audience. I mean, thousands of followers, it's so Instagram worthy. They're very loyal to you in all of your locations. Now that you've got a permanent residence in really the lifestyle center of the East Side, as far as I'm concerned, I just know you're going to be so successful and really take it to the next level.
Our clients are very excited that we're here, and we've kind of shared with people that have been following the journey of FogRose, and they're excited for us. We've seen you trying to figure things out during the pandemic, right, and they've stayed with us and kind of watch us throughout this whole journey. And for us to land here and to make this front and center is just incredible.
Well, and I really need to congratulate you, because a lot of our audience may not know that we had a similar past, in that we doubled down on the East Side ourselves, with both the Mercer Island and the downtown Bellevue on Old Main Street location. Both opened right as the pandemic was taking place. And so we are a cultural bunch. We have very well attended meetings and very busy offices prior to the pandemic. But like a lot of commercial enterprises, since the pandemic, it's been more difficult to get your client base, your agents, your employees back into the typical work week. So the question really became, what is the future of the office? What is the future of a residential real estate brokerage? And what do our consumers want? I mean, our clients, as the owner of the company, are our agents, and of course their clients are the buyers and sellers. And what we've come to align on is remaking our storefronts as a lifestyle center and going back to what we had lost, which is creating that vibrant heartbeat for our lifestyle, for our agents to convene, collaborate, and celebrate. And that's, I think, kind of this roaring 20s energy coming back after the last pandemic 100 years later. We use that analogy a lot because it kind of feels like that's what people want. And you just might be in the right place at the right time.
It sure feels like it, right? To your point, is really making sure that people have something that gets them out, right? Because a lot of the time, we've all, I mean, I've gone through periods where like I'm so comfortable in my home. I mean, like after 2 years of staying home, and sometimes it's like, well, what's out there? You don't even know, like, is what's happening anymore.
Right.
When you first come out of the pandemic, it's like, is this place still open, or have they, And so I think a lot of it has to do with inviting people into a space where they feel just as comfortable, like you said, as being home and surrounded by people that are wanting to, have really fun conversations, wanting to celebrate, wanting to do things together, collaborate. And I think that is really going to make a huge difference in the environment of, retail, as well as hospitality, is just getting people to think of like, oh, well, sometimes you're like, oh, now I gotta, in order to go out, I gotta dress up, I gotta do this, do that. But it's really like you want to make sure that people feel so comfortable coming into a space that's not something that they even think about. It's like, oh, Sotheby's having an event, maybe it's a breakfast event, maybe it's bougie brunch, and I know I'm going to have great conversations. I'm going to meet some folks that that I would love to hang out with, and it's the people that brings out, that brings the environment back.
It's the psychographic alignment that I think you're attracting those that seek social interaction, impromptu experiences. And I mean, that's the hope, right? That's why you go out sometimes, and to have that all baked into one great recipe, as you've done with FogRose Atelier. We're so proud to have you front our business, and it just feels like a perfect match. What have you enjoyed about the Sotheby's International Realty brand and that alignment for you?
For me, it just clicks so well in terms of like thinking about, your clientele, the FogRose had, the pleasure of servicing. We actually know a lot of people that we didn't realize that we know, and that speaks to, the community that we are, that we're fortunate enough to be able to be a part of. And so it's really, there's so much overlap. I think what I've come to realize is there's new surprises all the time. We would talk about something and realize that we're actually kind of talking about the same thing and have like the similar idea. So I think the best part of it is stepping into a space where you have a team of people that understand client service, that understand the brand, that understands the effort that we have to put in to maintain these wonderful relationships that we have. And that to me has been the most rewarding experience, because I can tell you that doesn't always happen, right? And sometimes you have to kind of, get your partner to kind of catch up with you, whereas I step into the space and I feel like there's no catching up, because we move so quickly, you and I
do.
Right? And I feel like we're on the same page. And it's amazing. I don't know how that happened, to be honest. I don't know how we align so well and we're always on the same page. I mean, when you have an idea, I'm like, Dean, I get it.
I mean, it's less than a month from initial concept to retail storefront, so it's pretty impressive.
So we turned it around so quickly, and I think that's the part I enjoy the most, because there's just so little lag time, to get us to kind of, put things together.
I like that. I agree with you. And something else that you said, it was, the experience is beyond the production itself. And that for us is our clients, they understand that it's a relationship and it goes well beyond the transaction. I mean, these are personal relationships. Yes, there's a transaction and there's a sale and there's an event that comes and goes, just like you pour tea or, take away a plate after a scone's been consumed. But for you, the reason they linger is because they're having an experience and they're going to come back, because there's really very few places that do this. I mean, without dropping names and other companies, but I mean, it's less than a handful of folks are even attempting high tea in the Seattle Bellevue metro area. So this is kind of unique territory, and certainly nothing that I know of in a very, very high profile retail location like this.
Yes, absolutely. And to do it in a way that is very lifestyle focused as well. And so, I think there are other people that are wanting to stick to traditional high tea, and that's fine. There's space for that. But for us, it's like we're constantly evolving, and we're so much about making sure that it fits into the lifestyle that our clients are wanting to experience. And I think that what makes this really different that we stepped into.
Thank you so much. And with you, it's always surprise and delight. Very much like the way you serve your offerings or the different tea selections. While high tea may be central, there's bougie cocktails. There's going to be weekend brunch service. There's going to be champagne. It's as much a bubble bar as it is a high tea
and then
facility.
we talked about bringing caviar in as well, so we can do champagne and caviar. So it's going to be an evolving space, and it's going to be grounded on, the things that FogRose have been doing really well, which is tea and desserts. But we are evolving, and we're adding new and fun, exciting things into the space, which I think, it keeps us on our toes, because we don't want to just stick with one thing. We want to be able to continue to innovate. Yeah.
And I learned that too. We've had some great retail partnerships with DeLille Cellars, of course, the noted winemaker, St. Michel Wine Estates, before the pandemic, a brief pop-up with Luli Yang Couture, which was so much fun. But the reality is it wants to be a lifestyle facility that has food and beverage, the limitation being not a full kitchen, but the way that you've addressed that with your 24/7 facility, and it's amazing the quality of the food experience that you're bringing to downtown Kirkland. But it is also as much a drop-in place as it is to schedule a 3-hour high tea experience, right? So this could be the place you go before you go out for your reservation, or maybe you come back after for a nightcap. Cocktails, tea, champagne, bespoke gifts. Most importantly, though, at the center of it all is a great retail experience, almost a third place where folks can come and get away from their business, get away from their home, and just come and mix and mingle in the heart of a vibrant community. What a great addition to downtown Kirkland.
We're so excited to be here, and we can't wait to meet more members of the community, good conversations, and I can't wait to get to know everybody that's already here doing amazing things. So
Well, I know we're going to get to know a lot of our agents and our staff members because you're hosting us tonight for a little pop-up event before we open public. So we'll get in there here shortly. But with that, we welcome you to downtown Kirkland. I thank you very much, Quyen, for all of your contributions to this lifestyle center in the making. And I just couldn't be more thrilled to be working along your side. I'm Dean Jones. This is Market Perspectives. We thank Quyen Dang from FogRose Atelier. Until next time, be sure to follow us on social media, leave a comment, and we'll see you then.